Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, we're going to be starting with this tweet from the Hbar Foundation, quoting, of course, BitBoy. They're talking about, meeting with him and discussing, what has been happening on Hedera. We are all aware of what has been happening on Hedera. We have seen the heat wave that, Hedera has brought to the summertime. We do see a few discussions around what they are focused on with, Fortune 500 use cases like Avery Dennison or ServiceNow, which I personally would love to see fully go live before even talking about, really kind of put your money where your mouth is, if you will. But we do see, international remittances with SB Group and Shinhan Bank, AAA Gaming, Lithos Entertainment, DeFi with Saucer Swap Labs, NFTs with Zeus Market, CBDCs, or anything else. Now, of course, a lot of us are probably frustrated with a lot of the, major enterprise grade use cases not going live yet. They do take time, but we have been waiting for them for a very long time. But it could be worse. We could be waiting for the SEC to, settle a major lawsuit. We could be waiting for, a token to merge. There's a lot of issues with some of these other tokens, but I completely get where everyone is coming at with, a lot of their frustration. But I will say this, a lot has been happening on Hedera in the last, just a couple months alone, even in the summertime, right? Which the summer's not over yet, has been substantial. Zeus Market recently just celebrated 30 million Hbar going back to August 1st. Already in less than a month, we are already at almost 40 million Hbar being transacted, with over 31,000 items sold already, which is substantial. And we've been at about 500,000, volume 24 hours, which is, you love to see that as well. And even Saucer Swap too. Over $13.4 million in TVL. Not even talking about other wallets too. We talked about we were talking about Headstarter too, Headstarter's moving in on the DeFi space. We talked about Stater too. These are major assets to the community around the DeFi sector. DeFi is still a very large sector to fully disrupt. So you love to see Hedera really kind of pioneering themselves within this area. And also, when we talk about staking, recently they did just talk about a little bit more of staking opportunities. This goes back to the 19th, but we did see Mans Harmon, talk a little bit about this. He said for the rest of the year we'll be focusing on continuing with our staking rollout, continuing the work of community nodes, smart contract improvements as well. And we actually do see in the roadmap, which we have been following pretty closely, even going all the way back to 2021. We've been really kind of waiting for staking. We do see staking phase 1 is fully complete, improving network security by enabling protocol level staking to the nodes, and then subsequently using these stakes to weigh the consensus. And then down here at the end, we do see phase 2, which is an enhancement to staking program to support dynamic stake and prepare it for community node operations. Now this is in quarter 4 of 2022. We also do see a few other things here too that are pretty substantial for the network itself. We do see additional NFT and entity scalability. We do see a little bit other stuff with the HIP 173, Swift SDK, which a lot of people actually talked about Swift SDK as being a huge thing. I don't necessarily think that it's that massive. But there's also other stuff centered around NFT smart contracts, which, again, are great for the, ecosystem, health and development. But also, I do believe that Hedera is ahead of the game even more now. We do see an official hardware wallet being built for Hedera. This is specific to the Hedera network. Why we decided to build a Hedera only, hardware wallet. Hedera is just getting started and will become the dominant layer 1 DLT in the world. To make sure Citadel, supports all Hedera services, hardware wallet is the missing piece to make Hedera the most secure in the world. And yes, I have been holding my Hbar on a ledger personally. But I do think that a hardware wallet specific to a network that does offer the highest grade security is great. I think that when we have something like this built for all Hedera services, supporting every single Hedera service, I think that this is probably going to be the future of a lot of these networks, where we do have a hardware wallet kind of built out for every single network. Now, I know that that might not be in everyone's best interest, because guess what? It would also be pretty expensive. I mean, you got to look at these hardware wallets are roughly around the $100 plus range. So this could be substantial. but I'm not saying like this is going to be like the 100% future where we do see every single hardware wallet being built out for specific networks. I just think that this is great for, support of every single service, to have everything kind of flow perfectly, have a nice flow of things when you do transact, send, transactions, receive transactions, whatever the case may be, even storing your NFTs too. I think that this would be great because, again, right now everyone is really kind of storing their NFTs on Hashpack wallets, which could get a little bit risky if you are doing a lot of like whitelist stuff like that. So having something like a wallet that holds your NFTs, holds your tokens, that would also be pretty great. And also, talking about some substantial banking use cases. We do see here from Nigel Dobson, which is the banking services lead at or I know like a lot of people have said like I say this one wrong, but like I've heard them say ANZ, and I hope that I'm saying that right. But I usually just say like ANZ Australia, but discusses the benefits of Hedera Network as a blockchain of the future, citing its speed, TPS, low cost, and unique governance structure. ANZ is a top 3 bank in Australia, fueled by Hbar. We're preparing for scale, financial market type transactions at a low cost. We're working with blockchains of the future. One of the ones that we are working with is the Hedera Network that has a great deal of promise. We see attributes there, that are very attractive for us. And I'm waiting for this to fully go live as well. Like we've been watching these closely, and don't get me wrong, like ANZ is a giant of a banking client, especially in the Australia region, and we do see here like we provide banking and financial products and services to over 8.5 million retail and business customers and operate across 32 markets. Our expertise, products, and services make us a bank. Our people, purpose, values, and culture make us, ANZ. And honestly, like when we really kind of look at this, not only does this solidify Hedera's position here, but it really kind of solidifies the idea of a lot of these major banking clients utilizing Hedera because of their tech stack. Remember what I always say on this channel when we regard the tech stack of these networks. It is crucial to have them have the highest grade security, scalability, everything. I mean, you can't have incredible security, you can't have incredible scalability, and then have extremely high cost fees. And it goes with everything, right? It needs to have a strong balance. This is why I always say that when you actually look at Hedera, first off, even if you go to the overview of, Hbar itself, in this full-on breakdown, even in the first beginning part of this, scrolling down, you see like the network field, the network protection. We already see them talking about like the security of it. We see them talking about like how the transaction costs are extremely low. Even if you scroll down a little bit more, they do talk about like tokenomics, but then here we have, them talk about ABFT, how it is the, highest grade security, the, blazing fast transaction speeds. They have touted this tech stack for a long, long time. And when we look at that, right, when we compare it to other major networks out there, they're not just quite there yet. But I do think that with all of the major connections that we have been talking about with banks, yesterday we just talked about DBS Bank. Today we're talking about ANZ. And we talked about ANZ for a while in the past as well. These are substantial clients. And remember, we just talked about Emtech as well. And we actually do see over here, Bank of Ghana, goes live on Emtech Inc. regulatory platform. Emtech is getting closer to real-world Cbdc deployments. Now, a lot of people think, is this even on Hedera? If not, what's the underlying tech? No increase on transactions yet, not on Hedera from. And I actually think that this is wrong. And we're going to be talking about why in a second, but we do see like press release, Bank of Ghana goes live on Emtech's regulatory platform. Emtech's open platform digitizes access to central banking services, starting with the digital regulatory sandbox and regulatory reporting APIs. Remember, this is just a step to a full-on live Cbdc. But the reason why I say that they will be utilizing Hedera is going back to October of 2021. We do see Emtech and Hedera Hashgraph join forces for highly performant, trusted, and energy-efficient central bank blockchain infrastructure. Now down here, we do see a few insights on this partnership. The joint effort will bring together Emtech's Ethereum-based Cbdc core solution and Hedera's public ledger, targeting a faster, more secure alternative to legacy blockchain consensus mechanisms. We do see down here, blockchain technology and the mechanisms of DLT are new and important, especially for emerging markets in developing a cash-like central bank digital currency. We know scalability, resilience, and performance are expected, said Emtech CEO and co-founder Carmel Cadet. This partnership brings both companies' unique capabilities together to design modern financial market infrastructures that deliver on those key principles. CBDC is more than a software application. It is an infrastructure, and we want to get it right, said Cadet. And down here, in addition to research and development, I keep saying like deployment, for low-cost, higher energy efficiency, and financially inclusive solutions, Emtech and Hedera Hashgraph will collaborate on ecosystem engagement, innovation, and capacity building around CBDCs, stablecoins, digital assets, and DLT as well, more broadly, particularly in Africa and the Caribbean. We're thrilled to collaborate with Emtech to give central banks around the globe the opportunity to explore realistic ways to bring CBDCs to fruition, and this collaboration will, enable a groundbreaking use of the Hedera network and services. This partnership is about delivering high performance and high trust. We're excited to see how Emtech will meet and exceed the criteria and demands for scalable, secure CBDC solutions. And the last but not least, we do see this. The partnership will further leverage Emtech's modern regulatory sandbox to enable safe testing for financial service providers looking to engage regulators on DLT-based financial services such as stablecoins and digital assets. And like I said, when we look at this sandbox, this is a test net. This is not going to provide massive transactions on the mainnet or anything like that. This is still in a testing process. Do not mind the idea that like this is going live right now. The transactions should be booming on Hedera. No, that is not the case right now. We are still in the testing area of the CBDCs, but this is a very substantial partnership. Like I said, it is critical to it's critical to understand the idea of like how long a lot of these use cases actually do, take to be fully built out. And also, real quick, I know that there's going to be that comment down in the comments that says, he's being paid to show Hbar. It's so comical at this point that I still get comments like that. I do not talk about these projects because I get incentivized or paid. In fact, I have not received a single payment from Hedera, from any of the companies that I do talk about on this channel at all. I talk about these projects because I see the potential behind them, specifically around the digitization process of everyday life. Tokenization, another astronomical area to focus on. Guess who's leading the race within tokenization? Hedera. They've been a part of the major healthcare boom within tokenization. We look at tokenization around CBDCs, even cross-border payments. Guess who's there? Hedera, because of their energy efficiency, because of their scalability, their low-cost fees, everything around the tech stack within Hedera provides massive value for these huge CBDCs and financial use cases. And talking about that, we actually do see over here from Distilled Ledger, CBDC conference next week in Frankfurt, Germany, with Emtech Inc. and Hbar Foundation as partners. And we actually do see there's going to be quite a bit of names here. First off, there's going to be 60 plus speakers, 25 of whom represent the BIS and central banks from around the world. The CBDC conference is the premier event in the CBDC space. Last chance to register on cbdcconference.com. And we do see CBDC and energy usage, the case for a green CBDC. Remember, guess who is the leaders behind this? Emtech. Guess who's going to also be working with Emtech? Hedera. Next slide. We do see panel discussion, CBDC, stablecoins, and other digital forms of money. The Digital Dollar Project, Hbar Foundation, National Bank of Georgia, Standard Chartered Bank, and of course, Emtech. Then, next slide, we have Central Bank of Bahamas, all connections to Emtech. Central Bank of the Bahamas digital currency Sand Dollar, the next steps. We also do see over here, yet again, Bank of Ghana, case study, lessons from Ghana's CBDC project. Like, these are all connections to Emtech and Hbar Foundation. It is insane to me that everyone is still writing off that Hbar will not be utilized within a lot of these processes. And this is no shots at all for like Parabolic Hbar. I support him fully. I think that he's an incredible individual around like the Hedera scene. I just think that a lot of people write these things off because guess what? There's no transaction booming on the network or anything like that. And I get it. It's extremely frustrating, but these things do take time. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. That's been Nick. Peace out, guys.